Welcome back to the Nerdrotic Podcast. My name is Gary Buechler. I'm live in San Francisco, California, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com. And down in San Diego is my co-host, Dennis Bithoulkas. What is up, Dennis?
Nothing much. How about you? That was a really long pre-production meeting this time around.
Oh my God. We just set a record there.
I think so.
Yeah, that was nice. Hello, everyone. We're here covering, doing our weekly recap of Krypton. It just actually ended up for us an hour ago because we saw the East Coast feed and it hasn't even aired technically on the West Coast yet. But I don't know if anybody even watches it live on Syfy anymore. We'll find out. And if you do, you'll be able to watch the video when this rolls over into a video. In the meantime, we are live, and this is it's an interactive recap. We talk to the chat. Dennis and I go over it a little bit. It's a visceral review. We've done that was a little joke. Our pre-production meeting was actually about 30 seconds long. Yep. It was basically hello. We are the Nerdrotic channel, and yeah, let's get going.
Yeah. So we pretty much left off where episode 2 left off. This one's the episode 3 is called the Rankless, by the way.
Yes.
And we pretty much left off.
Rankless. Sorry, I hate to correct you there, but it's the Rankless Initiative.
Oh, the Rankless Initiative. Excuse me. Sorry, I left off initiative there.
It's okay. It's quite all
right. 40 flogs the wet noodle on that one.
That's later. That's for after the show, or that's for Patreon. We'll do that for the Patreon.
Oh, that sounds good. Yes.
There you go. That's special.
So yeah, we left off pretty much where episode 2 left off with Adam and Seg in the fortress, and they're trying to analyze Brainiac's probe using Val-El, the computer Val-El, and get it right. Dennis, what Ed Brewer said,
right?
Yeah. And they find out that it's just a shell, and there's actually something that's inside of it that is supposed to go out and infect people. So we get a 3 days earlier, 3 days ago on Krypton.
Yes.
We see Brainiac's probe leave the ship, crash land on Krypton, and we see that Ona and her mom, who Seg know and Kem know, they're in Kem's bar, and they're Ona's mom Rom is looking, she needs money, so of course she ends up becoming one of these scavengers that goes outside the uninhabited areas and goes and scavenges for stuff, and they can sell stuff on the black market. And she's the one that actually found the shell, opened it up, and grabbed the sentry out.
Yeah, and they can either sell stuff or they can turn it in.
Yeah,
it's better. I mean, the guy who was helping her was like, but you could probably keep it for yourself. But when you said Brainiac's probe, that just sounded dirty. I don't know.
Well, it was dirty.
It was dirty. And it was, this episode got very Alias, to where we found the case, but there's something inside the case. But the thing we found in the case, it needs to be activated, and it needs somebody to be activated. We need to find the person to activate the sentry that was inside the case. But once you find the person, it's just part of nothing else. And like in Alias, she would have to go to Egypt to get like a USB, right? And then have to plug it into a computer in Nome, Alaska, and then come back to America and report on it. So we were getting very Alias on this one.
Yeah. And so we found out also that what the sentry does is it infects a host, and it ends up gathering as much information as possible, then transmits all that information back to Brainiac. Brainiac says, "Hey, dinner's ready." He comes in and essentially starts collecting all the stuff that he needs to do and destroys the planet that he comes and collects with.
Yeah.
So that's what it's a bad thing. So they want to find this sentry, of course, before it gets activated. And
Brainiac's the ultimate speculator, basically. The ultimate collector. There you go.
I actually came close to thinking that Ona was the one that was, infected, because she was drawing the little symbols.
I thought she was too.
Yeah.
It was kind of a
nice little red herring.
Yes.
Yeah. It wasn't bad. So we end up seeing the excuse me there, I just lost that one. There we go. So Adam and Seg end up splitting up to find out who's infected by the sentry. And of course, it's this whole, like you were saying, it is like Alias, where everyone's running around trying to find out who's doing what where. And Nyssa and Seg end up making a little small talk. He runs into her, and he realizes that she's kind of holding him back. He needs to reinstate his security status, which comes into play later. And then that's when Seg finds out that Lita has actually been promoted at this point, because
and how she got promoted.
Yeah. So it's interesting. He's pissed off because, of course, now that means that she's going to be the one that roughs off the Rankless, and she's like, "No, this is the reason why I did it. So I had a voice in this whole thing, and he should be grateful." Is what she's saying. So we see the voice of Rao talking to Darren and about Black Zero and having to stop them, and that, at all costs, that they basically need to eradicate Black Zero. And of course, this leads to the military going to raid Sector 19, which is Seg's old sector, and of course Kem's current sector, to roust out the Rankless and find Black Zero as much as possible, and hiding amongst those people. And we also get a name drop here of Jax-Ur as the head of Black Zero. For those of you who don't know who Jax-Ur is, this is a Superman lore person who is a scientist that has been trapped in the Phantom Zone because he was trying to do some space travel there, and he launched. The background has been changed multiple times, but mainly he launches a ship, and it crashes into an asteroid, which ends up or a moon, killing a whole bunch of people on that moon, a whole bunch of Kryptonians, and that's what he gets sent to the Phantom Zone for killing all those people.
And for non-comic book readers out there, we'll throw these in once in a while, and you might even see commenters going, "No, that's not how it went. It actually went this." And you got to the DC universe is not like the Marvel universe. It over its time, there's canon. Okay, there's this thing called canon. There's an argument over about Star Trek. Well, DC relaunches their canon every few years. It used to be like every 20 or 30 years, but now it's been every couple years. So if you see arguments on, we're not going to get into that. Basically, Dennis and I, we even probably have different DC canon, but we just use the canon in our head. So our frame of reference is the DC stuff we read.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of gave a general Jax-Ur, because what I understand, Jax-Ur in Krypton here is going to be female when she gets introduced.
Jacqueline, sir.
Yes. So we're going to have her changed out to a her. I love this, how Seg and Kem are talking about how they're trying to grill people to find out if they have the sentry or not. So how exactly do you do this in such a way that, you're not asking people flat out, do you have any tech that you don't know about?
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing they got Adam Strange around then.
Yeah, exactly. And Lita and Mom, and her mom actually have a little argument about Lita speaking up for the Rankless there, and she goes, "You got to do your job. When you're tasked with something, do it." She goes, "You're not here to make comments or anything like that or change things. You were here to follow orders like everyone else." And so
she's not a very good stormtrooper.
She is not a very good stormtrooper at all.
No.
Yeah.
I don't see how long she's going to last in that position.
Considering that we're going to see in the next episode what the outcome of this episode happened. So Dev ends up telling Lita that she needs to follow orders, of course, given to her, and he says he shouldn't have to tell a commander that, which just another reminder.
Yeah, we don't choose our orders, he says. That was a pretty good line, actually.
Yeah, that was actually a good line. And of course, this is all setting up, a lot of foreshadowing here.
A lot of foreshadowing going on.
Yeah, so Adam ends up going to the black market, and he finds the sentry. But I love how they threw in a Daxamite hunting blade.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. Okay, so we get the mention of Daxam, but they say there are no other worlds around them. And I know Daxam is supposed to be a group of Kryptonians that had gone off to explore the universe, and they created this planet Daxam, so they're kind of distant cousins in a way. But don't people know this? Or
they probably just threw it in to give it an Easter egg. And we don't know. I think what we've got as our frame of reference is there's no other Kryptonians. I don't know if they've said they haven't gone on to other worlds. There's just other races. So
there aren't other.
I'm not clear on that 100%, but that's kind of the vibe I got.
That Kryptonians are alone in the universe, right?
Yeah, and Rom had she found that the Sentry and she sold it on the black market. She sold it
Yes.
for a couple hundred quid or whatever the hell it was in Krypton.
Quid.
Yeah, some quid. Yeah, and yeah, so she's doing what she can to get by. She's a hardworking woman, and yeah, and at least there was didn't at least she's not selling drugs. She's trying to like provide for her daughter.
Yeah, exactly. So, and unlike Adam just steals that sentry and makes a run for it.
Yeah, and that guy was an idiot about it too. He's like, that guy said your stuff is fake, and then runs away.
Yeah.
And then he calls himself a superhero for doing that.
Yeah, I know, really.
Right.
I did what superheroes do. It's like, no, you didn't, man. You stole. You do what villains do.
Yeah. Well, it's DC. It's murky nowadays.
Yeah, it is true. And I love Lita's pep talk to the troops. There will be no bashing of heads. There'll be no shooting unless I say otherwise. And you're going to do what I tell you to do. And when I tell you to do it. Do you understand? And everyone's like, yes, ma'am.
This is not what I signed up for. I signed up to subjugate the masses, crack some skulls, get some plunder, and
shoot some people.
And shoot some people. And she's denying me that.
Yeah.
I don't like her.
So yeah, Adam ends up running into the bar with Seg and Chem and ends up giving him the sentry. And I love the whole thing. He goes, come on, fist bump. And he goes, what? You guys don't do that here? Okay. And as he turns away to walk out the bar, both Seg and Kem do a little fist bump.
Yeah.
That was a nice little touch.
Well, after he ran out, Kem's all, I don't understand you. And then he fist bumps it. That was fun.
That was actually really good. So yeah, we end up having Sector 19 being cleared of the Rankless with force. And of course, that pep talk did nothing for the troops because they were cracking heads, knocking people down, all kinds of stuff, pushing them aside, guns at the ready. And Adam and Seg are trying to get out with the sentry so they can get to the fortress to analyze it to see if it's been used or not. And Seg ends up just giving Adam the sentry and going, go for it, run, get to the fortress. I'll catch up with you. He is, because he's got a rank now. He's got the science rank on him.
Yeah.
So he's not actually part of the Rankless. And so Lita sees him and just says, get the hell out of here. What are you doing here? Kind of thing. Get out of here. So we find out when Adam's at the fortress and Val is actually looking at the sentry that not only is, Adam's been running around on foot lately. So we've been wondering what's been going on. Turns out his Zeta beam might be broken.
Yep. And right before he asked Grandpa to take a look at it, we get a little alarm coming off on the sentry, and this is a bad sign. This is a very bad sign.
That the sentry is now empty and it's been used, so it's in somebody at this point. And it's at this point that we see Rom, Ona's mom.
Not to be confused with the Space Knight, by the way.
Well, it's ROHM instead of ROM. Yeah, but it's still pronounced Rom. She's the one that's been infected. You see her arm. At first, I thought it was the Green Death because her arms were turning green and getting those kind of vines thing, but it was cables that were coming up her arms. It was kind of interesting. And she's with Kem and Ona, and the military come through and they're trying to push them out, getting them to a different place. And that's when Brainiac takes over. Her eyes go red and she starts having little data streams going across her eyes, and she just starts killing guards like they're nothing.
That was a pretty cool scene. And by the way, their uniforms kind of they gave me an Altered Carbon vibe right there. They looked a little bit like the Altered Carbon ones, which are good. It's not a bad thing. With the
two little circles. Yeah, I love those.
Yeah, she wipes them out pretty easily.
Yeah, and that's when Kem just takes Ona and runs. And they go and hide in the bar until Seg shows up. And Seg shows up and Kem lets them know what's going on. And they're like, well, maybe we can save her. Which probably not, but
probably not. So, but they give it a shot. And in the meantime, she's climbing up in the city and trying to get to some data point to, and
communications hub. Yeah.
Communications hub. So she can just download everything for Brainiac, and
Yeah.
then that's it. And at this point, this was what we talked about in our very long pre-production meeting. The one thing I'm loving about this show is they aren't dicking around getting to Brainiac.
No, they're not. They're
Yeah.
actually really fast. Third episode in, and we already have Brainiacs going, okay, get the stuff going, man. I want to get there. I want dinner. Kind of,
Yeah.
It's almost like he's like Galactus in a way.
Oh, it's very Galactus.
Yeah.
Very much so. Except he doesn't eat them; he just collects them.
So in the meantime, Kaldar, one of the guards, one of the military there, has a whole bunch of bound prisoners, and she asks him, "Okay, who's Black Zero? Are you Black Zero?" And she starts choking out this one guy, and this guy who's bound steps out of line there and goes, "Hey, stop doing that!" And she just turns around and shoots him, just out, shoots him, and this, of course, creates a riot going on. People are upset, and we find out from Lita's mom there, Jaina, that every sector is clear out except for that one sector that Kaldar is in. And it's because Kaldar, of course, shot somebody. So Lita shows up and says, "What the hell is going on?" And she sees the guy dead at her feet. And Kaldar says, "Oh, he attacked me. She's, wait a minute. I felt threatened. That's why I shot him." She goes, "You felt threatened from a bound man, bound unarmed man." And that's when the people start telling her that she killed him in cold blood, and she ends up arresting her.
Yeah, she ends up arresting her, which is in the big picture not a very good move at all.
Yeah, well, from what we find out later on, yeah.
But still, just at the time, even though I just like, man, that's stupid. She's gonna get in trouble. She's already pushing it far enough. I mean, she's the boss's daughter. For that, what the Sagittarii, but it's not going to work out. Like, she's not hiding it very well. I don't know how she rose so far up.
Yeah, I know.
Well, boss's daughter. Yeah, nepotism.
Yeah, I don't know. So, Ona's mom tells her to go to the communications hub, Rom, goes to the communications hub, and she's ripping this stuff apart. And Sega asks Lita for a bomb, this little grenade that only works on electronics, quite conveniently. It's a military ordinance. She's like, I shouldn't be giving you this. It's military ordinance. He goes, just trust me. And she's waiting outside and disobeys a direct order from her mom to go in. Jaina. She disobeys Jaina's orders to go in to give Sega enough time. And we see that Rom is actually hooked in. We've got all these cables in the back of her neck, and she's hooked into the whole system and basically downloading some stuff. And Seg comes in and tries to reason with her, and of course gets his ass handed to him. And it looks like he's going to get choked out until he kind of appeals to her motherly side and says, "Hey, Ona loves you. She's waiting for you. What are you doing?" And that's when she comes back a little bit, releases him, and he gets the grenade again, sets it off, and everything goes to black.
Yeah, but she says some very interesting things.
She does.
She says, "I am transcendent of the material. My cognizance is beyond your capability, blah, blah, blah." And it gives me a theory about Brainiac, which is kind of, they're going to base it somewhat on the comic, I'm thinking. So, and my theory will be a little spoilery, but we'll wait for you to finish. But it just...
No, go ahead.
Okay, well, I think Brainiac, and this is from the comic, I think Grandpa made Brainiac and sent him through either the Phantom Zone or sent him out to space to go find this other life that he was looking for, and in turn ended up making through an accident, either in the Phantom Zone or something else, it became sentient, and it took its instructions too literally and started collecting worlds.
So he's basically V'ger.
Basically V'ger, an evil V'ger.
And for those of you kids who don't know and aren't playing at home, V'ger is from Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Yes.
So that's where we're throwing out that reference from way in the Wayback Machine. So Seg gets Rom out of there after Dev's group comes in, and they take a look and they see that nothing's there. And Lita ends up catching them and sees all the cables protruding out of the back of Rom's neck and says, "What the hell happened?" and he tells her, my granddad was right.
Yep.
Val was right.
Now, I don't know how much it looks like he could trust Lita at this time. I wouldn't have told her, but he told her, and that's fine. And I guess people are going to find out anyway, but yeah, I don't know. So she knows. He didn't say Brainiac outright though.
No, he just said that there's other life out there, that we're not alone. And at this point, we see Kaldar getting led into the brig back in the military. And as she's passing Darian and Nisa, we find out that she was actually on their payroll. She was working for them.
So the only arrest made was somebody on their payroll. It was a total failure. And, Darren's screwed, and he's going to go in and tell the truth. And Nisa's like, "Are you sure that's a really good idea right now to do that?" And it's not. I still don't know. And I'd love to hear your theories in the chat, or your theories, Dennis. Like, what is the deal with the voice of Rao? Is he just this religious leader who's out to get Black Zero, or there's something more? There's
got to be something more, and I'm thinking it's. I don't know if it's part of Brainiac or. Yeah, dude. There's something weird about it, and they haven't.
But they haven't showed his face yet. So his face, it's going to be a big reveal, whoever that is. Either somebody we've seen before, or a relation of some kind. I don't know. Or maybe it's Brainiac. Maybe it's the guy who becomes Brainiac. Who knows? Maybe it's the same actor. We'll find out. Yeah.
Sorry, I was reading the comment too there.
So, yes.
And finally, we end up having Rom back at the fortress. Val's looking her over, and he says, whatever Brainiac did to her, it's keeping her alive, but barely. And she might end up, if we try and reverse it, it might kill her. And they said, well, what has happened to her? Or why was she trying to go to the communications hub? Did she send anything out to Brainiac? And he goes, well, she is the transmitter. That's what happened. So she already transmitted everything to Brainiac. And the last thing we see is Brainiac receiving that information, saying that he's coming to Krypton to collect it.
Yes. And Ed Brewer in there mentioned Telos.
Oh yeah.
That would be interesting. It's going to be a big reveal. I have no idea yet. It's still too early to tell. And honestly, I haven't seen any hints at all. So, but it's a good show. It's a pretty good show. It's been fun to watch. It's not, it could potentially be really bad, guys. This could have been a total turd, and it's not. So I'm very, very happy to see that, especially when considering it's from David S. Goyer. Who is David S. Goyer, we'll just say. But we'll get to the chat a little bit here. Let's do that. Man, we're still reeling a little bit from Legion last night too. That was a fun show. I don't know if y'all saw Legion. Not to take away from the DC guys, we love our DC, but definitely check out Legion. That is some good stuff.
Thank you, guys. I just saw Apple Crow and Dante. Apple Crow says, "Hey, now Dennis is consistent too," and Dante S says, "Yes, Dennis is the man." Thank you.
Yes,
because Dante S was saying, "Gary, you're a consistent guy. I have to love Nerdrotic. You guys are the best."
Thanks. Thank you.
So let's get to some of the chat here.
Feature wants to merge with the creator.
Yeah, Feature does want to merge with the creator, big time.
The original Rule 34.
Apple Crow says, "I've only seen the pilot. Didn't hook me, but I might binge it if the recaps keep loving it."
Yeah, we'll have to see. But we'll be honest with you, folks. I'll tell you that if the show downturns and turns into something dumb, we'll tell you. We will.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm not going to stick with something. Part of our hard and fast rule is we do not, with the rare exception of Star Trek Discovery, because that was more of a curiosity. We don't cover something we don't generally. At least one of us has to like it for us to cover it. That's the rule. So.
And now that we don't have John, regularly with us here, both of us are, it's rare that we agree on those things. So.
Well, John will probably come back for Star Trek. I imagine. Yeah, he'll probably be back. Oh, he'll definitely be back for Runaways and The Gifted and stuff like that. So
yeah. And so that was. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh, you just got your notification right now, Ed Brewer? Yeah, that happens sometimes. That's weird.
Huh. That's kind of weird because I got the notification early on. That was.
Some people don't get them at all. It's really inconsistent how they give notifications. Yeah.
Penn Farm Girl says, yes, Gary, we're still trying to wrap our brains around last night.
Yeah, I was listening to Charlie Stream's recap of Legion. He got something really wrong. He got something really wrong. And then we did miss something. So David did teleport out of the chamber.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, he did teleport. But yeah, he got something really wrong.
Yeah, and also I guess the narrator was John Hamm.
It was John Hamm. Yes. Yeah. So I guess the big question about this show has a couple of things it needs to do. It needs to wrap us up into this story. So that's why I think they're bringing Brainiac in early to keep people locked in. You risk kind of shooting your wad at that point. So at some point they either they have to defeat Brainiac, and Brainiac will be a threat later, or
constantly hold him off.
Yeah, constantly hold him off. He remains on the peripheral for an entire season, and where do you go from there? You know, you got Brainiac in season 1. You're gonna have to develop another bad guy or another threat that's interesting enough to where you won't have to use Brainiac every damn season.
Yeah,
so because you can't, and that's going to be an interesting challenge for them, because with all shows that are on the peripheral of a superhero, I'm sorry, I used that word twice, so close together. I'll speak for myself. There's a point where I go, okay, I want to see fucking Superman at this point. So, but there's a lot of things they said they're going to do, and I'll tease you with this, like Hawkman and Hawkgirl are going to show up. We got Adam Strange already. We're going to get we might even get some like New God stuff later on. So Rand Thanagar will probably pop in late. That would keep me interested. But as far as following Seg, does Seg become like a superhero, like the superhero of Krypton? A commenter said that last week. I thought that was pretty interesting. Why not Darkseid, Ed Brewer? Why not? That it'll be the TV version of Darkseid, since we're not going to get him in the movies for a while.
Or you can bring in the Allfather and just start off with the Allfather. Like
I don't know. I think with when they get to the New Gods, I think we might see like guest stars. I don't think we're gonna go Allfather and they're gonna like go down the road of the New Gods. I think we'll get maybe we'll see, like not a Mr. Miracle, but we'll see something from that. Maybe a Big Barda show up for like an episode or something like that.
Also, just to remind people too, and I forgot about this to mention this during when I was talking about Jax-Ur. Jax-Ur's experiments with those rockets is what brings Brainiac actually to Krypton. That's what brought in one of the iterations of his background.
Yeah,
was that the rockets are actually what alert Brainiac to Krypton, and he comes to Krypton because of that.
Interesting. Sylvia, I agree with you. I hope the Hawks are better than they were on the Legends version. I think they thought it sounded good in their head, and then they got to the effects budgets and they're all, oh yeah, we got to make wings on these people. So yeah, I don't know if the Hawks are a good idea for like lower cable and network TV at all, to be honest with you. Green Lanterns, yes, Apple Crow. Do you guys postulate on whether we see part of the Lantern Corps? Yes, I think that we might see.
Yeah,
I think we'll see some Legion of superhero stuff. I mean, they've already played with time travel from the beginning, so yeah. What we won't see is Superman. I guarantee you.
You know, it'd be interesting if they go far enough if you can get Superboy.
Well, Legion of Superheroes, yeah. But no, you won't see Superman or Superboy at all.
Okay.
Nah, no way.
It'd be nice.
But then here's the thinking. If we bring in a Superman or Superboy, then it stops being about Segal, and everybody wants to focus on that. That was the danger of them bringing in Superman to Supergirl. So yeah, look, and Supergirl stands on her own. So if they did it with this show, it'd be bad. So you're not gonna. You'll see peripheral superheroes as guests. I don't know if they'll ever be in costumes. I'd sure like to see Adam Strange in some kind of a sci-fi, something close to what he wears.
A little bit of red and yellow.
Yeah, but you could the Lantern Corps is something you definitely bring in at some point, especially since Brainiac is out there. And there is a Green Lantern watching Krypton. So,
that's true. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know where they go from there. Tell you the truth, what you do after Brainiac, it's really hard to say.
Well, a lot of times with these shows, they just have the first season mapped, and more often than not, that's all you get. So a lot of shows are surprised when they get a season 2 and they go, "Oh shit, now we got to follow it up." And that's why season 2s are so rough. I think Walking Dead is a great example of one that had no expectation of getting a season 2 and got one. So,
yeah, we've kind of our chat has.
Well, okay, so
let's go to.
I'll throw a couple. Things out there. But okay, so we've seen the Green Lantern. We want to bring the Green Lantern Corps. The Hawks would look stupid. Would it be dumb to bring in? Because it might be kind of dumb to bring in some of the Fourth World New God stuff, because that might be too powerful for this. The one thing we're not seeing is anything super heroic. It's pretty street level. People with weapons. There's no like real enhancements. They're genetically perfect supposedly, but we haven't seen a lot of the upper cities of Krypton. We've been down in the Sector 19 a lot, which is a lot easier to film and shoot. But will I be at the Silicon Valley Comic-Con this weekend? Says Raymond Vereda. Yeah, probably on Sunday. Yes. I haven't thought about it, but if there is still a ticket available, yeah, I'll take Logan down. I'll go. I've been so busy, I've lost track of pretty much everything except for work and this podcast. So it's been a little crazy at work.
Apple Crow says, have they ever had a yellow sun energy generator for Superman to use elsewhere? Adam Strange could clue Sag-El into that, and we might get some Superman action.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Possibly.
Just for like a little bit of enhancement. I don't know. I think that I don't know. I know they want to kind of like do this super heroic Game of Thrones kind of feel, but they can't.
Actually, since they've already mentioned Daxamite in this episode, the Daxamite dagger, if you bring in, I could see in season 2 having Daxam becoming the threat, if you will, and having disputes between the two planets, and that becoming if you want to go that whole Game of Thrones route.
I think that would be one aspect of it. I think season 2, they're still going to want to be bringing in, forgive my use of this word, the normies. So like Brainiac, like people have heard of Brainiac, and yeah, like the comic readers. I don't know, with these shows, it used to be automatic. You got the comic readers, but Ed will back me up on this. I go to a lot of places where it's just comic people, and I would say most of them don't watch any superhero TV, or if they do, it's like a show, or they catch up on it later. Very few of them watch current TV. Now, a lot of them are in the age range of like 20 something to 30 something. And, that's not a big TV watching time of your life, especially with the internet now. Hell, right now there's a bunch of them. I don't know if Comics Division's live stream still going, but they're on that, or they're on I Love Comics. Oh, it's I Love Comics live stream. They're watching live streams instead of watching TV shows. They watch the TV shows later. So yeah, you need something to draw in the comic book fans, which they used to be automatic, but they're not anymore. And because there's so much out there, and the normies. So like, like that wouldn't be a big enough name. You'd have to like throw in, I think Rand Thanagar, to be honest with you. Jody was asking that. Rand Thanagar has been mentioned by the showrunners, correct? It has.
Yep.
It has. and so Hawkman and Hawkgirl. So.
And Jody says they could help them fight Brainiac somewhat, but then why bother making it a prequel if you're gonna have a superpowered character?
That's true. That's true. And maybe their thinking is we want to make our characters interesting enough to where you're not thinking about superheroes, and it's just like it's a sci-fi show. Then it just becomes a sci, which that's fine. That actually is kind of cool. The key is they got to keep making the characters interesting, and they got to throw in what I need to see a little more is some stakes. Now you can't do that early on because you're still setting the table with all these damn characters, so we don't even know some of them yet. So I understand why there isn't any now. I think we'll get that eventually, though. I think we'll get a lot of screwing over and some stakes and maybe a death here. His parents already died, so
yeah. Actually, I was just thinking you could go after Brainiac. You could actually go to the Anti-Monitor and the Anti-Life Equation.
Yeah. See something like this. See, that would be cool. Something like that would be cool. But still, that's not something that
mainstream
Superman
people know
stuff.
about,
a lot of people don't know about Superman stuff. They just don't. You know.
I was just trying to figure out where you could actually go. Oh yeah, you could do that too. Fifth Dimension stuff.
That was a joke. But no, if you modernize them a little bit and make them like the Q of fucking Krypton, that'd be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
It's a smaller generator, could be used in bursts. It's for some improvement, definitely. Look at Apple Crow thinking. As long as it doesn't degrade into people talking about their feelings in hallways, bless your heart.
I want people talking about feelings in their hallways.
No.
And about betraying each other because they just betrayed each other in the last episode.
No, I want an episode after episode of I'm going to keep a secret from you, and then promise to not keep any secrets, and then the person I promised kept the secret from me, and then he promised not to keep any more secrets, and then we went to the hallway to talk about our feelings.
And then everyone learns their lesson at the end of the episode, but then repeats it again the following episode,
and the bad guy's a monster. And everybody gets powers.
Yes. In fact, they rotate powers.
Goddamn, the CW is like a children's birthday party. Everybody gets a present. Everybody gets powers.
And you get powers, and you get powers, and you get powers. It's like Oprah.
Participation powers. That's what they get. Jesus Christ. I don't want to digress this in a bashing on the CW. This is better than the CW. I guarantee that. Sci-Fi Network is very good. Very good right now. We should be the show writers
for the CW.
If Dennis helps me with the spelling, I'll be fine.
That's a spell check score, buddy.
Are they in touch with the anti-life equation? That wouldn't mean, aside from Darkseid, they could bring in New Genesis. Edward Brewer says Sharknado. Yeah. Drop the mic right there. That's it. Sharknado.
Which, by the way, is ending with number 6.
Does Chris still work on that?
I don't think so, because he's not.
No, he works at that trailer place. Yeah, we had a buddy who worked on the first 3 movies. Yeah, it's cash cow, that one. The Sharknado is a cash shark. That's what it is. Gary, to be fair, the CW did bring us Black Lightning, which is quite good. That's what I've heard. Yeah, and it brought us, the first season of Arrow and the first season of Flash, which were magnificent. So
I like Legends of Tomorrow. I like Supergirl. I like, Black Lightning. And, so far it's been good. So, yeah.
I have to keep it to shows we actually cover on the show. What I cover on the show is what I actually watch. I don't watch in much extra, if anything. Usually it's YouTube, but yeah.
I'm always branching out there looking for new stuff. That's why.
That's what trailers are for. We might have something new. I'm not going to mention it just yet. By the way, I had the date wrong, so let's do a little plug in here before we go. I'm going to be on Comics Division's live stream tomorrow at 8 p.m. and then I'm going to be on I Love Comics a week from this Saturday, not this Saturday. I got it confused. So I'm on a week from this Saturday for Comic Book Thunderdome. It's on our website. It's on our schedule. Our next podcast will be Friday Night Live at 8 p.m. with Susan Layton. She's coming in to join us, and we're going to go over some of her articles on 1428 Elm. Plus, we're going to do our news too. So it could be a long one. It could be a long one. Did we just check out The Crossing yet?
I haven't checked out The Crossing. You know, I saw it sitting there on ABC's the app, and I was going to give the first episode a try, and I completely forgot about it.
Yeah,
so I've got to watch it and see how it is.
Doomcock, I'll have some Doomcock news for you on Friday. I have to actually go and see if he's. Last time I checked, he did not respond, but I think he's been responding to me on Patreon, so I got to check over there. I'll be honest with you, I have had no time. I run home from work, I watch a TV show, and then I recap, and then I go to bed. It's been like I said, it's been really nuts at work this week. And then our illustrious leader tweeted out his vehicle identification number to 21 million people today. Freaking. That's not going to cause problems. Yeah, there was I hope nobody at work's watching. There was a company-wide email, like within 10 minutes of it happening. It was so funny. And then I told you, I was like, oh my God, you not believe what happened. Oh, Elon. Jesus
that little
Christ.
rascal.
That little rascal. That little rascal.
Jody asked about iZombie there. Yes, I do watch iZombie. We just don't cover it anymore because there's nobody else to watch it with me. Melissa's too busy.
Yeah, she's busy too. She'll probably be on some Westworlds with us. And maybe some Expanse. We'll see if we can work it out. Wednesday's going to be kind of crazy.
Yeah, Wednesday's going to be tough.
Yeah, starting next Wednesday, this is a double feature. And sorry, Krypton, the Expanse is going to take priority. I'll tell you that right now. I love that show. We're still going to cover Krypton. It's still going to be on Wednesday, but the podcast will probably be a little shorter. So this will be our last kind of like longer Krypton one. If you haven't watched the Expanse, definitely check it out. I can't wait. I cannot wait. But work the next day will be a little rough for about 2 months. Whatever. It's all for the podcast. It's all good. So we got Friday night and got nothing Saturday as of yet. And Sunday, I think I'm doing a Farscape. Then Monday, it's the live stream and the Ash vs. Evil Dead. And then it's Legion, Expanse, Krypton. It all starts over again. So you guys will all be there. Well, we'll see you all there Friday.
Yeah.
And don't forget to check us out at nerdrotic.com. That's where all our audio and video is. Dennis has a Twitter. It's at DeForce, DAFORCE. Mine is at Nerdrotics. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell for that notification that Ed Brewer got like 30 minutes into the podcast. And some people don't get it all. And also, please check and make sure you're still subscribed. And oh my God, for you new subscribers who have jumped on from Legion, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We will be covering Legion weekly. We love that show. Welcome to the Nerdrotic channel. And we are open to requests. We try to get to as much as we can. We are kind of picky, though. We are.
Sylvia with Loves, has Ash been renewed yet? Not yet. We haven't heard anything. We hear about it, I believe, in May.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be after the show's over.
Yeah.
We'll find out. I'm thinking no, though. That kind of sucks, but I'm thinking no. Unless there's like a last minute Hail Mary in ratings, but its overnight ratings are like under 200,000. So
yeah, and Jody, same thing with iZombie. We don't know if that's been. They just announced about 10 CW shows that have been renewed, and iZombie and Valor and a couple, like 3 of them haven't been weren't in that list as of yet, and they're going to come out in May. And I have a feeling that iZombie's on the chopping block, unfortunately.
Penn Farm Girl, the Comic Book Thunderdome, it's on I Love Comics channel. Just search I Love Comics, or you can, I'll have a link to it at nerdrotic.com. It's on the 14th of April at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And it's me and Feisty Fan. Oh, Ed Brewer just answered. Thanks, Ed. You're all right. So we're gonna wrap it up. It's a damn good show. Krypton, check it out if you got time. Is it the greatest show ever? Not there yet,
No.
but it's a really good start. So many shows have rough starts, and this was a pretty damn good start.
And the best version of Brainiac that we've seen yet.
Oh God, yes. Oh my God, yes. It's properly creepy, and the ship looks amazing. We got a great scene of it sending out the probes. Oh, that was so cool. That So cool. So yeah, so it's a sci-fi show. It's not a superhero show. It's a sci-fi show, and that is a good thing. Yeah. So everybody, Jody, Penn Farm Girl, Sylvia's with love. How's your father? The mighty Ed Brewer. We'll go up there. Apple Crow, the amazing Apple Crow. Yes. All of you who've joined us in the chat, thank you so much. All of you who are going to watch us as a video later, thank you for watching. We do appreciate you, and we will see you. We'll see you on Friday. So take us out, man.
Before you do that, throw up the Patreon as well.
Oh, okay. Well,
there we go. And I want to say thank you also to JP, who was in here earlier and I think took off, and Dante S, who were here a little bit earlier as well, and Raymond Verada. And of course, we got to thank our patrons at the end here. It's Johnny Pappas, Jody, Viking Bitch, Apple Crow, Eric, Lawrence Howe, Kristen Conine, Shakuri Lama, Richard Seth Jones, Isaiah Norton, Fan on Rough, Penn Farm Girl, Brian Smart, Arturo Espinoza, and Feisty Fan. Jimmy Pappas, because we can't say
Johnny Pappas and Johnny Pappas and Johnny Pappas because we forgot to put his name on the.
I said Jimmy, didn't I?
Jimmy Pappas. Oh my God. You're terrible. Now we got to say his name again, Johnny Pappas.
Johnny Pappas.
Yeah, thank you for your loyal support.
Yes.
We're nothing without you people. You guys make the show. So take us out, Dennis.
Children of Earth, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out, because Brainiac will come and find your ass.
And stick a probe somewhere you don't want to stuck.
And
And I'll leave it there. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.